Was the Ford 427 Cammer really quicker than the mighty 426 Hemi? To find out, we have to step back into the golden era of American motorsports, the roaring 1960s. Behind the thunderous engines and high-speed races, a fierce rivalry was brewing between two of Detroit's biggest names, Ford and Chrysler. It wasn't just about racing, it was about legacy, innovation, and proving who could build the most dominant power plant of the decade. Ford's response to the rising tide of Chrysler dominance came in the form of the 427 SOHC, better known as the Cammer. This engine wasn't subtle. It was aggressive, complex, and raw, an untamed powerhouse capable of producing up to 657 horsepower in its peak race configurations. The Cammer featured an advanced overhead camshaft, SOHC, something almost unheard of in American V8s of the time. But with that innovation came complications. The engine proved difficult to manage and faced serious reliability issues under extreme conditions. Then came the blow that changed everything. In 1964, NASCAR effectively banned the Cammer from competition, citing it as non-compliant with production rules. That move forced Ford to pivot. Instead of oval tracks, the Cammer found its home in drag racing, where it earned respect with impressive performances. Still, its sophisticated engineering continued to be both a blessing and a burden, requiring teams to be exceptionally skilled just to keep the engine consistent. Meanwhile, Chrysler's 426 Hemi was carving its name into racing history. Its hemispherical combustion chamber design gave it outstanding airflow and power efficiency, producing tremendous horsepower with impressive durability. When Chrysler rolled the Hemi out in the early 1960s, it took NASCAR by storm. It crushed the competition at the 1964 Daytona 500 and went on to claim a staggering 26 victories that season alone. But success sparked controversy. Many competitors questioned whether the Hemi qualified as a true production engine. And just 1 year later, in 1965, it too faced a NASCAR ban. What makes this rivalry so iconic is that it wasn't just about raw numbers or engineering specs. It was a philosophical showdown between two different design approaches. Ford's Cammer was a high-revving, precision-focused engine built for upper RPM domination. Chrysler's Hemi, on the other hand, was built like a tank, reliable, consistent, and devastating in its delivery of raw power. Determining which engine was actually faster is no simple task. Both engines have been tweaked, modified, and tuned to extremes by racers over the decades. Beyond the factory numbers, real-world performance tells a more accurate story. So, in this video, we'll break down everything, from the mechanical design and performance figures to actual race comparisons, in order to find out which engine truly stood at the top. This isn't just a battle of specs. It's a battle of ideologies, history, and high-octane ambition. As we dive deeper into the head-to-head matchups between the 427 Cammer and the 426 Hemi, we'll explore how each engine performed under pressure when the only variable that mattered was the heart beating under the hood.
Let's begin by diving into the Ford 427 Cammer, an engine that was born out of pure competition in the early 1960s. At the time, Chrysler's dominance on the drag strip was becoming a serious threat, and Ford needed something radical to turn the tide. Their answer? The 427 SOHC Cammer. This power plant wasn't just an engine, it was a calculated strike. One of its most innovative features was its single overhead camshaft design, a rare configuration for American V8s back then. This setup allowed the Cammer to operate at higher RPMs, unlocking serious performance advantages. In race form, it could generate well over 500 horsepower, but it wasn't just about brute force. What truly set it apart was its ability to climb the rev range quickly and deliver consistent, precise power where it mattered most. Despite its brilliance, the Cammer faced an uphill battle. Its intricate design made it harder to maintain, and in 1964, it was effectively banned from NASCAR, pushing Ford to redirect its efforts toward drag racing. And while the Cammer saw impressive success on the strip and even in road racing circuits like the SCCA, its limited production run and mechanical complexity meant only a select few teams could truly harness its potential. Still, it cemented itself as one of the most daring and capable engines of the muscle car era. Now let's switch gears and look at its legendary rival, the 426 Hemi from Chrysler. Introduced in the late 1950s and refined in the early 1960s, the Hemi wasn't subtle about its mission. It was built for one thing: power. Featuring hemispherical combustion chambers, it delivered superior airflow and combustion efficiency, which translated to massive horsepower gains. Chrysler engineers didn't stop there. They paired it with the cross-ram intake to further boost high-end performance. In its racing configuration, it could crank out over 600 horsepower. The Hemi made a massive impact on the racing scene, especially in NASCAR, where its durability and raw strength made it nearly unbeatable. Its dominance during events like the 1954 Daytona 500 helped build its legend. Like the Cammer, though, the Hemi also faced backlash. Many competitors claimed it wasn't a true production engine, and by 1965, it too was barred from NASCAR, creating another twist in this ongoing engine war. Both of these motors represent different philosophies in performance engineering. The Cammer was all about precision and high-revving finesse, while the Hemi focused on delivering explosive torque and long-lasting power. But when these two machines met on the track, especially in head-to-head comparisons, the results weren't always what you'd expect. Take one notable example: a quarter-mile drag race between a Ford Mustang fitted with the 427 Cammer and a Dodge Charger powered by the 426 Hemi. On paper, the Hemi had more horsepower, but in the real world, the Mustang crossed the line faster, clocking in at 12.4 seconds versus the Charger's 12.9. So how did that happen? The secret lies in the Cammer's high-revving design, which allowed it to accelerate more efficiently over short distances. Even though it had slightly less power on paper, its ability to rev higher gave it the edge in this specific scenario. Of course, performance isn't just about straight-line speed. In road racing, the Cammer's precise power delivery and rev-happy nature allowed it to maintain speed through corners and excel in high-speed maneuvers. The Hemi, by contrast, thrived on longer tracks, where endurance and torque could truly shine. That's where its brute force really came into play. Looking back, the motorsports scene of the 1960s was more than just competition. It was a battlefield. Ford and Chrysler weren't just building engines, they were crafting weapons of automotive warfare. And in doing so, they created two of the most iconic and revered engines in American history. The Cammer and the Hemi didn't just compete, they defined a generation of racing innovation. So, which engine was truly faster? That answer depends on how you measure speed. In short sprints and twisty road courses, the Cammer's high-revving precision gave it a distinct advantage. But for sheer, long-lasting power and endurance events, the Hemi's reputation speaks for itself. Both engines had their place, and both left behind a legacy of performance that still fuels debates today. This wasn't just about engineering. It was about pushing boundaries, rewriting rules, and chasing victory at all costs. Ford versus Chrysler, Cammer versus Hemi. A rivalry forged not just in competition, but in fire, sweat, and speed. And now we want to hear from you. Which of these two powerhouses do you believe deserves the crown? Was it the precision-built Camera or the unstoppable force of the Hemi? Let us know in the comments. And before you go, if you enjoyed this breakdown, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps us grow and bring more legendary showdowns to life. Tell us which iconic engines or cars you'd like to see featured next. Thanks for watching, and keep the engine wars alive.